Hey everybody, how's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I think it's really awesome that you guys have signed up for Patreon, and the free members as well. It's really cool, and I'm really happy about that. This tree over my shoulder, which is probably out of focus, but right there, that is well, I guess it's not an evergreen tree, but it is a pine tree, and it's called a tamarack. And it's interesting, when I first came to Oregon, I didn't know that there were pine trees that weren't evergreens, and the tamarack is one of them, maybe the only one, I don't know. But what the needles turn colors, and they turn brown and fall off in the wintertime. And so it's not an evergreen, but it is a pine tree, which is really kind of interesting. And so that is one of them, and it's turning yellow. It's really pretty. So I wanted to talk today about feast or famine and in photography. And that's really on my mind because it's been quite the famine this summer. When I went to Catherine Creek and made my last YouTube video, like, you know, I got a couple of photographs, but it's really forcing it, you know. And when I say I got a couple of photographs, it's nothing I would really even put in my portfolio. But it was fun to just take some photographs or take some pictures, really. That's photography, and you know, the better you get and the more you're able to go out and look around, you really know when you're in a target-rich environment, is what I like to call it. You really know. I mean, when I went to Zion National Park, like, there's an example where you're spoiled for choice, in the sense that you could just literally spin your camera around and take pictures. You could make compositions. You could set your tripod up, put your camera on it, and make 10 compositions from one location without ever moving your camera off the tripod and just kind of turning it around and up and down. And I mean, it's just amazing place, okay? And so, you know, and that's the way photography, when you get to a certain level, that's the way photography goes. Like, you kind of know, like, yeah, this is pretty, but there's nothing really happening. Like, there's nothing. I mean, I'll go out and I'll try. Like, I live in a very pretty place, right? It's really nice, but it's not that. It doesn't lend itself that well to landscape photography. And why I say that is because all the work that I've seen from around here, none of it is really, maybe it's just me, none of it is really truly inspiring. It's more of an agricultural area than a you know. Now, if I go 10 miles or even 5 miles in that direction right now, I would be amongst 8,000-foot granite mountains. But right now they're starting to get covered in snow. And it's the Eagle Cap Wilderness, and it's very inaccessible. If I were 30 years younger, or 20 years younger, yeah, I could hike up there. I mean, most of those trails are pretty, and they're all rated difficult. It's a very inaccessible place. You know, you kind of have to backpack in, stay overnight, and come back. And it's not that inaccessible, but it's inaccessible for me at my age with my health issues that I've got now. And so, I mean, so it's close, but it's tantalizing, but it's not accessible, okay? And I've tried many times driving up the fire road, see how close I can get, and it gets pretty, but it's not quite the same. In 2012, when I was 10 years younger, 12 years younger, I can do math, I actually did a 4 or 5 day backpack trip up there. It was absolutely stunning. I was camped right under the Eagle Cap Mountain, and yeah, with those lakes up there, they're alpine lakes, and there's one after another, just stunningly gorgeous, you know. I don't stand a chance of getting there, even though I live 10 miles away, 15 miles away. So yeah, so I have to limit myself to places that are target-rich environments that I can get to, and that I'm physically able to get to. So there is that. So this is a beautiful area. If you can backpack in, I'd highly recommend it. It would make a wonderful destination. There are photographs up there that nobody else has really gotten. Well, maybe they have, but I haven't seen them. So, so there it is. It's definitely a place worth exploring if you don't mind backpacking in and staying a couple of days. And then it's only really accessible from maybe mid-July until maybe beginning of October, and that's pushing it. Although this year I don't really see any snow up there yet, but I bet you it is cold. So anyway, that's the Eagle Cap Wilderness. The point that I'm trying to make is, if you get to, so the point that I'm trying to make is, you know, you go out and you see stuff like, it's pretty over there, it's pretty behind me, it's pretty, but I don't really see like portfolio level images. I might take a few snaps, we'll see what they turn out to be like, but when you get to a place like Zion National Park or the Oregon coast or Silver Falls State Park, the west side of Oregon was very photogenic. And when I lived there, it was like the Columbia River Gorge was real easy to get great shots. And so, so that's what so the trip that I'm taking, I'm looking forward to it. I'm taking a trip in a couple of weeks, and I'll be driving through some photogenic areas. Not quite sure on the route I'm going to take, depends on the weather, etc. But I know when I get to Texas, there's a real strong possibility that there's going to be interesting stuff to photograph, particularly, you know, the swamps and the bayous around Caddo Lake. Looking forward to that, and what I might find along the way. So Adrian, AOWS, said, you know, put yourself in locations that you're able to get great photographs. And that is something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that is really what it comes down to. And all this summer, I've been highly unmotivated because of the lack of decent weather within a 200 or 300 mile radius. And what do I mean by decent weather? Atmospheric, rainy, cloudy, foggy, that kind of a thing. The Oregon coast has had it, but it's quite the drive. And even then, the forecasts haven't been that great. So, the winter time, spring, fall, that's when the weather turns good. It gets cloudy, it gets rainy, and that's what's happening. So that's what I'm up to. Again, thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and we'll see you out there. Have a great one. Bye.